Hi everyone, welcome back to Vidyanagar online science class. Now it's time for us to start our first physics chapter, chapter 11, force and pressure. By the end of today's class, you are going to understand force and its related concepts. Shall we move to today's class? Okay. We can start our discussion with the help of some examples like, have you opened the door? Okay, you will open the door like this, right? Have you shut the door? Okay, you will shut the door like this, right? And have you draw the water from the well? Okay, your action should be like this, right? Drawing water from the well, right? And have you catch the ball, cricket ball? Okay, you will do like this. Right. So in these all the examples, you are doing something there, right? You're doing something there. So we are going to discuss about this something in our today's class, and that is force. So when you open the door, when you shut the door, when you draw the water from the well, you are exerting or you are applying force. Then what is this force then? Force is the push or pull on an object is known as force. See, push or pull on an object is known as force. Okay, pushing, pulling. So what is force? Force is the push or pull on an object is known as force. So which is the simple and finest definition for the force? Force is the push or pull on an object is known as force. Okay, so when you do like this, your hands are acting force on the rope, and when you open the door, your hands are acting force on the handles of the door. So if you want to do any work or if you want to do anything, we have to apply force on that object, which means force is the push or pull on an object is known as force. Don't forget, force is the push or pull on an object is known as force. And the unit of force is Newton. Which is the unit of force? About the Newton and its explanations you don't want to study in this year, you have to study it in the next year, but you have to keep in your mind the unit of force is Newton. Why? Because the concept of force was introduced by Sir Isaac Newton. So in order to honor that famous scientist, we kept the unit Newton for force. So which is the unit of force? Newton. Right. What is force? Force is the push or pull on an object is known as force. Force is the push or pull on an object is known as force. Okay. Force is the push or pull on an object is known as force. Look at the screen, guys. You can see three pictures on the screen, like a man is pushing the car, two girls are pulling each other, and a man is pulling the cow. Which are the pictures you can see on the screen? Like a man is pushing the car, or a car being pushed by a man. Two girls are pulling each other, and a man is pulling a cow. So what informations you are getting from these pictures? It is clear from the picture that at least two objects must be there for the application of force. At least two objects must be interact for a force to come into play. Which means if there are two surfaces, if there are two objects, there is application of force. Like, now, you can see my hands, right? These two hands are these two hands are applying force now. How? Because this hand is acting force on this hand, and this hand is acting force on this hand. See, when I am pressing hardly between each other, when I am pressing handling my two hands, these two hands are exerting force between each other, which means at least two objects must be there to exert force. At least two objects must interact for a force to come into play. So it is very important point, guys. At least two objects should be there for the application of force. Right? When you draw the water from the well, your hands and the rope, two surfaces, right? So when you do like this, your hands are applying force on the rope. When you write something, on the paper, your hands and pencil or pen is in action, right? If these two objects are not there, how can you write? It's not possible. So at least two surfaces or two objects should be there for the application of force. Okay, so at least two objects must interact for a force to come into play. Like when a man pushes the car, you know, man and car, two objects. If two girls are pulling each other, two girls, a man and cow. In these all the cases, you can see at least two objects must be interact each other for the application of force. At least two objects must interact for a force to come into play. At least two objects must interact for a force to come into play. So what the idea you have to understand from the pictures? At least two objects must interact. Interacting means what? You know, just in contact. Okay, must interact for a force to come into play. And you see, when you walk on the floor, right? When you walk on the floor, how can you walk? Because your hands and the floor in action, right? If the two surfaces are not there, you couldn't walk. You cannot walk. Because, you know, when you walk, when you sit somewhere, in all the cases, you can see the presence of two objects or two surfaces. When you sit somewhere, you and the chair. When you walk on the floor, you and the floor. So, at least two objects must interact for a force to come into play. Just have a look at on the screen. You can see two pictures on the screen, right? Which are the two pictures? In the first picture, two friends are pushing a heavy load. Two friends are pushing a heavy load in the same direction. In the first picture, two close friends pushing a heavy load in the same direction. And in the second figure, that same friends pushing the heavy load in the opposite direction. One is opposite to other. So in the first figure, two friends pushing a load in the same direction, and in the second figure, two friends pushing the heavy load from the opposite direction. Okay, can you say in which case that load moves fast? In the first case or second case? Definitely it is in the first case. Why? Because two friends pushing heavy load or two friends applying force in the same direction. If we apply force in the same direction, the total force is the sum of these two forces. The total force is the sum of the individual forces. Like two friends are there, right? So one is applying 5 Newton force and the second one is applying 2 Newton force, and the total force of that action is 7 Newton. Why? 5 plus 2, 7. When we apply force to the same direction, total force is the sum of the individual forces. Or when we apply force to the same direction, total force adds up to each other. Or it is the sum of the individual forces. Like 5 plus 2, 7. Clear? When we apply a force to the same direction, total force is the sum of these two forces, or total force adds up to each other. Adds up to each other means 5 plus 2, 7. So 7 Newton become a big force. So that big force pushes the heavy load to forward. So if we apply force to same direction, so this happens only if we apply to the same direction. If we apply force to the same direction, total force is the sum of individual forces, or the force adds up each other and it becomes a great force. That great force pushes the heavy loads to forward. That's why the load moves fast in the first case. Right? And what about in the second case? In second case, both the friends are applying force in opposite direction. One is to the forward and other is to the backward, right? So both the friends are applying force in the opposite direction. So if we apply force in the opposite direction, total force is the difference between these two. For example, if this friend applied force 10 Newton and this one is 3 Newton, the total force is 10 minus 3, 7. So there is the decrease of force. In that case, that heavy load moves slowly. So why that load moves slowly in the second case? Because both the friends are applying force in the opposite direction. If we apply force in the opposite direction, the total force is the difference between these two forces. If we take the difference, we get the small value, right? When we add, we get a greater value. When we subtract it, we get a lower value. In that case, the force decreases. So that decreases force moves the heavy load only in slow speed or in very slow. Okay, so if we apply force to the same direction, adds up to each other. If we apply force in the opposite direction, total force is the difference between these two forces. Clear? So why that load moves fast in the first case? Because there the force is applying same direction. If we apply force in the same direction, total force is the sum of these two forces, like 5 plus 2, 7. So that 7 is the big force. That big force pushes the load to forward direction. But in second case, one is exerting force to the opposite direction. So there the total force is the difference between these two forces, and that difference, while we taking the difference, we get the small value. That small force moves the heavy load slowly. Okay, when we apply force to the same direction, total force is the sum of individual forces, or total force adds up to each other. When we apply force to the opposite direction, total force is the difference between the two forces. Okay, what is this, guys? Okay, this is a ball, right? Okay, this is a ball. Is it moving or not? It is at rest now. Okay, now I hold it as ball. It is at rest, right? Then how can we change this ball in the moving condition? For that, we can throw it. Okay, when I throw this ball, that ball changed to moving condition, right? When I throw that ball, what happens to the ball? That ball changed from rest to moving condition. Okay, before throwing it was at rest. Okay, it was in my hand, right? When I throw that ball to outside, the ball at rest changes to moving condition. Am I right? When I throw that ball to outside, the ball, okay, before it was at rest. Before throwing, the ball was at rest. Okay, when I thrown the ball to outside, the ball changes to moving condition, right? Before it was at rest. When I thrown the ball to outside, the ball changes to moving condition, right? When I thrown the ball to outside, my hand my hands applied force on the ball. That's why it changes to moving condition. When my hands applied force on the ball, that ball changes to moving condition, right? Which means force changes the state of a motion. By applying force, we can change the state of a motion. State means what? rest motion. So these are the two states, right? So how the ball changes to moving condition from the rest? Because I applied the force, right? So by applying force, we can change the state of an object from rest to motion or motion to rest. See, when we catch the ball, suddenly the ball stops in our hands, no? Okay, so while we play the cricket, the ball is in the moving condition. Okay, when we catch that ball, suddenly the ball stops its movement, right? Which means by applying the force, we can change the object from moving condition to rest. We can change from rest to motion and also from moving condition to rest. When we catch, suddenly the ball stops its movement, right, or the motion. So that also only possible by like this. When we do like this, our hands are acting force on the ball, right? So in these two cases, it is clear that if you want to change the state of an object from rest to motion or motion to rest, we have to apply force on this object. Which means by applying the force, we can change the state of an object. By applying force, we can change the state of an object. I told you, by applying force, we can change the state of an object from rest to motion or from motion to rest. Like when we throw the ball, rest to, the object is changing from rest to motion, and when we catch the ball, motion to rest. Okay, this is only possible by applying force. Just like we can change the shape of an object by applying force. Like you see, is there any you can see one sponge in my hand, right? So when I am doing like this, you can see the shape change, right? Shape change, which means by applying force, we can change the shape of the object. Not only its state, we can change the shape of an object by applying force. See, okay, changing shape. So changing shape, so this is applying force, right? So we can change the shape of an object by applying force. You may see that, you know, how we make the chapatis. For making chapatis, we have to make the duff, no? How we make the duff? Okay, we will do like this. Okay, we will do like this, duff. Okay, so duff also, what happens there? There also applying force changes the shape of an object. And after the duff making chapatis, there also the shape change, no? So we have to press it. Okay, that pressing, this is the action for making chapati, right? So this pressing is the applying force. So by applying force, we can change the state of an object as well as shape of an object. By applying force, we can change the shape as well as state of an object. We can change shape as well as state of an object. This is the end of today's class. I hope you got it the point. Watch the video thoroughly. Understand the concepts. I will meet you soon with another video. Till then, it's bye. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.